If it is Monday night, it is the Wrestling Forum. So hello, friends. It is ridiculously over Anthony Florio sitting in tonight for Derek Ferreira as we are coming at you live tonight from East Providence, Rhode Island to bring you our newest edition of the Wrestling Forum. Just wrapped up our Rangers Roundup just a moment ago. You can check that out on Michael Fletcher's channel, Great Fan 95. For those of you who may have missed it or you just want to see it again. Although I don't think you want to see it considering I pretty much had an Alicia Fox-like meltdown on that show tonight. But with that said, I'm over that. So with that said, let's just dive right into the Wrestling Forum here tonight. It's our Monday Night Raw review as always. I'm joined tonight by our Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher, and the Phenom, Michael Bullock. So with that said, gentlemen, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. We started off the show with the Authority, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon in the ring, teasing a big announcement about Daniel Bryan and his health. And, well, it was the inevitable, ladies and gentlemen. It was the inevitable. It was first reported by Michael Fletcher on his Facebook and Twitter earlier this afternoon that the official announcement was made. Daniel Bryan will not be able to compete at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So with that said, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had no choice but to strip Daniel Bryan of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, Bullock, I'm right there with you. No, 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 indeed. But yeah, but hate to say it, but this was, a necessary and acceptable move. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't happy about it. I'm certainly not happy about it, but you know, you need a fighting champion. You need someone who can defend that title, week in, week out, on television, on pay-per-view, whatever. So, yeah, there's really nothing left to say about that. So that was pretty much the segment right there. So my thoughts on it, no big surprise. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. It was inevitable that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be able to compete. I mean, we were hoping for it. We really were. But no, the neck injury was too severe. However, Dr. Maroon, the man who performed the surgery, said that he will be reevaluated. So he's probably going to have to miss money. We know he's going to miss Money in the Bank. But the big question is, will he be ready for Battleground on July 20th? And if he can't do that, God forbid, will he be ready for SummerSlam in August? I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping so, but now we know Daniel Bryan no longer the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. His reign ends at 64 days, which is a little more than halfway to Randy Orton's run. Randy Orton, when he held the title, was 112 days as WWE World Heavyweight Champion between TLC and WrestleMania before he lost it. Daniel Bryan won at WrestleMania, held it for 9 weeks and a day, so a total of 64 days. Um, and it was a pretty uneventful title run for him. I mean, it was great to see him win it. Obviously, I mean that will be my number one moment of the year most likely, unless of course the New York Rangers prove me wrong and do the unthinkable. Which God forbid if that happens, that will trump Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania moment right there, no doubt about it. But stranger things have happened, so that's all I can say about that. But as far as this is concerned, I mean, it was a good segment. I mean, Triple H and Steph, doing their typical authority shtick, best for business. Yeah, we all know that. So, yeah, of course, some other organizations feel the same way too. So, yeah, that's really all I can say about it. I mean, it was a solid segment. It was a good segment. I'm not going to say it was the segment of the night, although it was a top segment. I'll say it like that. So, and then of course they also mentioned about the Shield. I said Rollins did what he did to Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns last week. Yep, indeed he is, Bullock. Indeed he is. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So but anyways, good segment to start the show. No big surprise. I mean, this was inevitable. So, and that's the only reason why I'm not going on a rant. I mean, normally, me being the Daniel Bryan mark that I am, and being the president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, I mean, I know Bo was probably expecting me to go on a major rant, but I'm not going to do that. And here's the reason why. Well, two reasons. One, I just went on a rant in our Ranger Roundup, and number two, um, just that this was inevitable. This was expected. So that's the only reason why I'm going to let this slide. He has to get better and hope. I mean, his in-ring style, just a little too risky in it, and it does a lot of damage to the neck area. Trust me, I know. I may not be a doctor, but I do know that I heard his in-ring style was, pretty risky and pretty physical. So, and that's why he's going to be out for a while. He won't be at Money in the Bank. Could he be ready for Battleground? That would be awesome if that's the case. But injuries like that, I mean, who knows when he'll be back? Hopefully, you heard it here first. He'll be back later this year. There is no question about it. He'll be back by the end of the year. There's no doubt about that. the big question is, when will he be back? That's all I can say. So, solid segment to start the show. Good segment. So, with that said, I'm going to toss it up to my vice president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement and our resident phenom, Michael Bullock. So, with that said, Mr. Bullock, go ahead. It's yours.
Yes, thank you very much. Ridiculously over Anthony Florio, and of course the president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement. Yes, this is Mike Bullock here. Delighted to be here as always here on the Wrestling Forum. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good segment here. Of course, the Authority basically coming out and saying that they were going to make a major announcement, and of course it was what we all expected. Of course, Daniel Bryan's doctor said that he wouldn't be ready to go for Money in the Bank, and basically the Authority has stripped him of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And when I heard that announcement, I was basically going, no, 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 no. But Daniel Bryan, he's got to get better. I mean, and plus you need a fighting champion. You need someone to defend that title. So, I mean, yeah, I wasn't happy for it, but the immortal words of Bill Belichick, it is what it is. And now, of course, that WWE World Heavyweight Championship will be hung above in a ladder match at Money in the Bank, and we know going into this night, we already knew that one of the participants in it is, of course, Alberto Del Rio. Of course, Triple H did announce, of course, that Randy Orton is also in it too, and we'll tell you who the two other participants will be as we go on this review. And of course, Triple H basically talking about that the Shield at Paris, that they are no more. Of course, after what happened last week with Seth Rollins turning. So yeah, it was a good segment, but it definitely wasn't the segment of the night. So we'll definitely get into the segment of the night shortly. So I mean, at some point during this review. So with that being said, Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. This was expected. We knew this was going to happen. The minute because I actually got some word about it earlier in the afternoon, heard a report, verified it, and it was confirmed. And I went out and I posted on Twitter first, and then to Facebook. I did have some detractors. One super fan in particular, Mr. Matt Ward, pretty much said, don't believe the dirt sheets. This could be wrong. This could be inaccurate. WWE hasn't said nothing. And then Triple H went on his Twitter saying that there's going to be a major announcement. That there was going to be a major announcement at the beginning of the show. And I kind of put two and two together. I was like, my report is true. My report was accurate. So what now? So I feel unfortunate for Daniel Bryan and the fans. Even Megan Silva, she actually went on her Twitter after after my Facebook post, and she said she can't. She's angry. She's not happy about it as well. And I understand. A lot of the fans are not happy about it, and the decision that for Daniel Bryan to lose the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, yeah, it's not best for business. It is what it is, but injuries are a part of the game. And they said that they're hoping that they can reevaluate him, and hopefully he'll be back in time. But unfortunately, he is not medically cleared. He will not be able to go for at least Money in the Bank, and we'll have to wait and see if he will be cleared for Battleground or even SummerSlam, because we don't know as of yet where we stand, at least with those two pay-per-views, to say the very least. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, it stinks, but it is what it is in that situation. And of course, Alberto Del Rio was, in fact, added in because of the fact that there was a qualifying fight. If everybody remembers, he went one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler. He won that fight, so he's in. And oddly enough, Randy Orton finds his way into the fight, and that's where controversy starts ringing out, because a lot of the fans a lot of the fans were very upset that Randy Orton's in this fight. But think about it: Evolution, Authority, the face of the WWE. I understand why they would give it to Orton, even though I think I could even say, as an Orton mark, I rather would have loved to see him earn his spot into the fight instead of it being handed to him on the silver platter. But I'm not gonna jump on that. That it is what it is on that call. And well, with that said, let's just move on. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, now, real quick before we move on, you also reported, Fletch, that in addition to that Money in the Bank match for the vacated WWE World Heavyweight Championship, you're also reporting that there's supposed to be a second Money in the Bank briefcase match for the briefcase.
Okay, now here's a situation with that one. There was rumors swirling around that WWE, I guess it was during a production meeting or something like that, that they had two ideas that they were gonna do. Number one was to have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship fight, at Money in the Bank in Boston. That's now confirmed. But there was a rumor that there could be a second Money in the Bank fight, but this time it will be with a traditional briefcase and the right to become the number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight title. And you know how that goes, that you can cash that in at any time, any place, anywhere in the next 12 months. So this is only a rumor. I can't confirm or deny this, at least this part of the story, but there was rumors swirling around that there might be a second Money in the Bank ladder match, but as of now, we don't know. It's still out in the open.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure on that because I read your post and I wanted to, just get some clarification on that. So, all right. So, we'll keep our eye on that certainly within, the next couple of weeks or so. So with that said, let's move on to our first match of the night. It was the first of two Money in the Bank qualifying matches tonight. It was a champion versus champion match. It was the United States Heavyweight Champion Sheamus one-on-one with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Bad News Barrett. The winner of the fall is Sheamus. So Sheamus is going to the Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Michael Bullock, Phenom, your thoughts on this fight?
All right, well, let's just say this match is, as we would like to say, a Michael Fletcher be a man fight, and this is what this fight was. This was a Michael Fletcher be a man fight right here. This was a very good match here. I'm gonna say if I gotta give a rating on it, I'm gonna say maybe 3 to maybe even 3.25 stars. I thought this was a tremendous match between these two, and I mean, I wanted to give it 3.5 stars, but unfortunately, I have to take points away because, well, of course, you know why I have to do it, because of the commercials. I mean, of course, it does take a little bit away from it, but still, it was a damn good match between these two, and I mean, hitting so we had some great near falls here, and yep, I mean, we saw Barrett hit the Wasteland. We saw Sheamus hit the White Noise. Both of them kicked out of it. And then, of course, all of a sudden, it takes a bro kick right at the end. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus gets the win. He's into that ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, joining Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton. And yes, like I said before, there will be another person in there. We'll get into that when we go into this review. So, but all in all, 3 to 3.25 stars. Definitely one of the top fights of the night. And congratulations to Sheamus. And so, with that being said, Fletcher, let's get into this. Let's get your thoughts on this Michael Fletcher be a man fight.
Oh yes, indeed, it was indeed a Michael Fletcher be a man fight, and you know what? Screw all you people who thinks that this wasn't a great. You know what? I'm about to do something that I never thought I was gonna say. This is 3.5 stars, and ladies and gentlemen, fight of the night right here. I'm calling it. This was my fight of the night. This was a great damn match. There's no doubt about it. This was hard hitting, hard action. But I'm gonna say this, WWE. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. You got the wrong guy. It should be Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett is way over right now. I love his body of work. I love what he's been doing lately in the ring. Even though I don't mind Sheamus being in the fight, I wish Barrett was in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I understand he is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, but this would have been the golden opportunity for him to be put on a pedestal in one of the biggest fights of his career. I'm sorry, this guy deserves an opportunity. This was a great fight, no doubt about it. 3.5 stars. I'm not penalizing them, Michael Bullock. Yes, there was a commercial break, but what's the one exception to the rule that I like to say? If the fight picks up right where it left off and is better than at the point that it goes on the break, then I do not penalize them and I keep going higher and higher. And this one I did. I went higher and higher. 3.5 stars. Fight of the night for me. Anthony, it's yours.
It's definitely one of my top fights of the night, but I gotta say it was the second best because I thought there was one match I thought was better, if I'm being quite honest with you. But it was a very good match, though, definitely. I mean, 3 to 3.25 stars is the rating. I'm agreeing more with Bullock's rating on this one. I mean, because there was a good match. I mean, I would have liked to have seen a couple more minutes, to be honest, but still, this was definitely a good match. I mean, these two definitely work great together. There's no question about it. And Bullock made a great point. It was definitely your vintage Michael Fletcher be a man fight, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, it was a hard hitting physical match with some good near falls down the stretch, and I just would have liked to have seen a couple more minutes. That's my only criticism. But other than that, I mean, very good match, and I also agree with Michael. I'm also going to agree with Fletcher on this when he says that the wrong guy won. It definitely should have been Barrett. I mean, he's over, but hold on a second. I just had a thought. If there is indeed going to be a second Money in the Bank match for the who's to say Bad News Barrett can't be in that? You can't, I mean, am I not right about that? So there's really nothing left for me to say about that. So with that said, 3 to 3.25 stars, second best fight of the night. I know Fletcher doesn't like that, but I thought there was one match I thought was better. Just one. That's all. So with that said, or he could be, I think he made that little face because he knows he has to lead off on this next segment, and I feel terrible because this is the infamous luck of the draw. And, yeah, there's going to be a lot of that tonight. I mean, what Michael Bullock's doing right now, that's what I did throughout the Ranger game tonight. That's all I can say about that. So, Bullock, that's what I was doing throughout the game. That's what Fletcher was doing, obviously. So, with that said, we have to unfortunately move on, and move on we will. It was the leader of the Ryder Revolution, Zack Ryder, Fletcher's boy, going up against the Bulgarian brute, Rusev, of course, with the ravishing Russian Lana in his corner. What else is new? Winner of the fall in exactly 1 minute. It is Rusev Bashka. So with that said, Fletch, I'm sorry, man. I hate to do it to you. I mean, I know the Ranger thing was bad enough, but you got to lead off on this. Sorry, man.
Oh my goodness, I don't envy you.
Yeah. This was a dud. This was a walkover. There's really nothing else for me to say. I'm not even gonna waste my time with this. This was Rusev crush, and he crushed Zack Ryder, poor Zack Ryder. I mean, what did he do to get into the purgatory again, man? This is bad. I'm sorry. There's nothing else to say. Anthony, just go.
Yeah, absolute dud. I mean, there's no question about it. And here's the thing, folks. This is not your first dud. There's going to be several of these, I'm afraid. So, and this is the first of many dud enhancement fights on this Monday Night Raw show. I mean, good lord. I don't know who was more dominant tonight. Was it Rusev or was it the Los Angeles Kings? I'll tell you right now, Rusev against Ryder, that was the LA Kings against the Rangers tonight. That's exactly what it was. So that's all I can say about it. Absolute dud. One of the worst fights of the night. So with that said, Bullock, just put us out of our misery.
Yeah, absolute dud. Worst. I mean, one of the worst fights of the night. I mean, this was a typical Rusev squash here. I mean, this was. Ugh. I mean, what did Zack Ryder do to get put into put, as we like to say, into the doghouse here? I mean, a few years ago he was I think was the United States champion, and now I hate to say it, but he is definitely now a dud enhancement talent. I know, to the dismay of one Michael Fletcher. Uh, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say except dud, 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 dud. Florio, go.
And go we will. We're going to move on to our next match of the evening. It was a tag team encounter. It was Rybaxel going up against Goldust and his latest flavor of the week, R-Truth. Oh yeah, that's a flavor of the week. Winners of the fall in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was Rybaxel. Unfortunately, I now have to lead off the damn luck of the draw. Another dud. This was another one of the worst fights of the night. I mean, this was not good at all. I mean, it's one thing when you have a dud enhancement fight, but when you have another one immediately following, yeah, that's not going to sit well with us. This whole Rose Brothers thing, I said to myself, yeah, this is not going to get annoying. Guess what? It has gotten annoying. And it's already at the point of go away. That's all I can say about that. So, another dud, the second of many throughout this night. Dud enhancement fight. In the immortal words of Michael Wilbon, get out. Bullock, it's yours.
Uh, yeah. This is another dud. Another one of the worst fights of the night. I mean, pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible. I mean, back-to-back duds on the same night. Really? Really, WWE? I mean, and the point of, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this match was. I mean, having Cody Rhodes put another tag team partner with Goldust week after week. I hate to say it, boys, but it's beyond the freaking point of go away. And now Cody Rhodes says there's going to be another one next week. Oh, I can't even fathom what that one's going to be. What's it going to be? Oh yeah, I got a bad feeling of what I think it could be. It could be Adam Rose. I mean, yeah, it could be worse than that. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say except dud. Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, there's nothing to save this. I mean, another dud, another worst fight in the night. I mean, this was just bad. Bad all the way around. There's really nothing else to say. So, Anthony, let's go.
Well, it will get a little better here as we move on. And the next match, this is actually a segment. It has you have the three-man dud in the ring. You know, Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal. You're thinking, really, another dud enhancement fight? What did we do to deserve this? But all wasn't lost. Sierra, Hotel, Del Fuego, whatever you want to call it. Here comes the Shield. Here comes Dean Ambrose. Here comes Roman Reigns. And they absolutely lay waste to the three-man dud. What else is new? That's why they are the three-man dud. And thankfully, no Hornswoggle El Torito nonsense on the show tonight. At least we didn't have that, thank God. But, yeah, 3MB gets taken out by the Shield, and the Shield cuts a promo basically talking about Seth Rollins and how they were going to, go after him. So that's pretty much what the segment entailed here. So with that said, Mr. Bullock, you lead off. What are your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah. When I saw the 3MB out there, I was originally saying, uh, yeah, this not gonna be good. I'm like, what the heck did we do to WW? What the heck did we do to deserve this? But it does get better. I mean, Ambrose and Reigns basically come through the crowd and basically, let's just say, the 3MB gets, as Michael Fletcher would always say, they basically got parlay booed by Ambrose and Reigns. I mean, yeah, I mean this is the first time we've seen Ambrose and Reigns since Seth Rollins turned on the Shield, and then of course Ambrose basically, the beatdown was basically really bad. I mean, of course, one of the members of the 3MB gets a spear by Roman Reigns, and then of course they grab the mic, and Ambrose says the Shield is untouchable, and they would go down as one of the greatest groups in sports entertainment ever. And they said they weren't healthy. They had a cancer on the side of them, and that was Seth Rollins. And history is full of people like Seth, a suck-up and a sellout. And he wants to knock the nose right out of Seth Rollins. And then Roman Reigns basically grabs the mic and says that Seth committed an unforgivable sin. He called him the scum of the earth, and he says you don't tug on Superman's cape, piss in the wind, or stab brothers in the back. And then Reigns basically calls Randy Orton and Triple H out. Orton walks around thinking he's the face of the company, but when he's done, Orton will be, let's just say, the ass of the company. And then after he's done with Orton, he's going to go after the King of Kings, Triple H. And he says, we're going to have our own Game of Thrones. Believe that. So, yeah. So the segment was good. I mean, it started out really bad because of the 3MB, but it got better because of the Sheik, or should I say, of Ambrose and Reigns. Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, I gotta say, when the 3MB came out, I was like, oh Lord, do we really need to go through this again? And then, like you said, once you heard the roll call of the Shield music coming out, I was like, oh, this is about to get ugly. And boys, it did. Dean Ambrose, I gotta tell you, man, Dean Ambrose was probably the star of this segment because boy did he just flip the hell out. I've seen Dean Ambrose go a little psychotic before. I mean, talk about poor Brad Maddox when he basically jumped over the couch and started beating the living daylights out of him for no apparent reason. This time Dean Ambrose went a little psycho tonight, right over the barricade and basically started wailing on everybody that was touching. And then his promo was spot on, amazing as always. He is definitely the talker of the group, no doubt about it. And then you give it to Roman Reigns, and well, the rest was history. The fans went nuts, and he laid out his little body of work and what he was gonna do, and well, it's the Shield, boys. Evolution says adapt or perish. Let me tell you, we're adapting with the Shield. We believe in the Shield, and that's how it's gonna be. That's right, Mike Bullock. We will adapt with them, and we believe in them, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, even though Dee Woodson, one of our super fans, she's like, I believe in Roman Reigns, I just don't believe in the Shield. But it is. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I love Dee Woodson to death. She's one of my best friends for a number of years. I've known her since 2002, and this is probably the one time where me and her kind of disagree. I mean, I believe in all the members. She just believes in one, and it's always this tug of war. I'm trying to pull her over to believe in the rest of the members, and she's strong-willed, so I'll give her that, and I'll give her a lot of love and a lot of credit. She believes in Roman Reigns, and I think we all do as well. So, it is what it is, but it is funny as heck, and I know a lot of you guys get a good laugh out of it too. So, I hope you enjoy that. Anthony, do you want to go, or should we just move on?
I haven't given my thoughts on it
Okay,
yet.
okay, then
So,
it's yours.
so I got to give my thoughts on this. But I'll say this though. I mean, after the horrific night that we've had to endure here tonight, I mean, we definitely needed a good laugh tonight, and that's exactly what's going to help us get through this night. To be quite honest, and that's a great point you made, and I even told you we talked about this on the phone, you know, during the game and Raw. We talked about it, and I even went as far as to call Dee Dee Woodson our resident Jackie McMullen because this is exactly what Jackie McMullen this is kind of something that he would say, you know, that's just how it is to me. It just has that mentality. If I'm being quite honest with you, but you know, it is her opinion, so we gotta respect that. So, but as far as the segment goes as a whole, I mean. And Flex, I know you'll back me up when I say this. I see 3MB in the ring. I'm like, oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Really? I'm like, we've already had two Dunn enhancement fights in a row. Now we're going to get a third. I was honestly expecting another god-awful Torito Hornswoggle segment, but thankfully that was not the case. This is one of the few bright spots of the night. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose coming out. You know, they lay waste to 3MB, and then they both had a great promo by both men. Dean Ambrose, it even went as far as to say he was Joker-like. I mean, this was almost like what the Joker would do in the Batman movies, and that's exactly what it was. It was almost like a Joker-like promo by Dean Ambrose. I mean, this is why I love Dean Ambrose. This is why Dean Ambrose has been my guy at Shield. I mean, love his body. It's not just his technical wrestling ability; it's also his mic work as well. And great mic work by Dean Ambrose tonight. And then Roman Reigns, another great promo from him. These two guys are going to be big stars. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know how big they're going to be, but we'll just have to wait and see. It just depends on how over they can get. But both men are pretty over. But if you're asking me, Roman Reigns is definitely more over than Dean Ambrose. But hey, they definitely have a lot of love for Ambrose too. So, but here's the thing. I mean, oh yeah, that was just it was just those guys. I mean, I was thinking about something else, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. So with that said, we're gonna move on now, and you ready for some more hard times, fellas? Here we go. And Michael Bullock is covering himself because he knows he has to lead off on this one. I feel so bad for you, my friend, but it is the luck of the draw, a la the Royal Rumble. Oh boy. WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos, going up against Fandango with the beautiful Layla in his corner, and his tag team partner, the resident joke of the WWE today, the once intellectual savior of the masses, now the biggest stud enhancement talent in WWE today, in the most ridiculous outfit you will ever see, Damien Sandow, in basically, I don't even want to talk about the getup that he had on tonight because that's how god awful it was. And oh boy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just give me 1 second before I throw it to Michael Bullock because I wanna get this meme that I just created. I created a meme here. They basically gave me the ammo for this one. So with that said, here it is for your viewing pleasure. Oh look, it's Damien Sandow in another campy comedy outfit. Yay! And that's exactly what it was. So yeah, that's basically the look on all the fans' faces in the Target Center in Minneapolis tonight. So with that said, Michael Bullock, I hate to do it to you, man. I don't envy you, but you got to lead off on this match. It was the Usos, by the way. Usos win the match. Hold on 1 second before I just want to get the correct information here. Here we go. Usos win the match in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. So with that said, Michael Bullock, I'm sorry, man. I hate to do it to you, but you got to lead off on it. And by the way, I don't envy you.
Oh my god. Really? Really? I gotta lead off on this? Oh. Oh my gosh. I mean, absolute dud. I mean, another one of the worst fights of the night. What in the freaking hell is that kind of an outfit for Damien Sandow? I mean, ugh. I mean, as soon as I saw that, what he was wearing, I basically wanted to puke. I mean, that's just how awful that was. I mean, I basically wanted to say, hey, Bruno, get over here and take a dump on Damien Sandow's outfit because it just smells like crap right now. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, Damien Sandow right now is the biggest stud enhancement talent ever, because not only he can't buy a win, but with all these getups that he's wearing, ugh. I mean, this is WWE, and Vince McMahon. I mean, yes, he may be he may be somewhere around 60 years old, but he has the brain of a 6-year-old child right now. I mean, give me a freaking break, will you? Give me a freaking break. I mean, this is and Vince McMahon and Triple H. They may think this is funny. Well, to me, this is not funny. This is another one of your campy comedy, full funky, gobbledygook nonsense here on Raw. I mean, this is just horrible. And I'm not laughing about it. Anthony Florio's not laughing about it. Fletch ain't laughing about it. And I'm certain Derek Ferrera wasn't laughing about it. I mean, if you think for 1 minute we find this whole thing funny, hell freaking no. So, WWE, in the immortal words of Ren and Stimpy, you idiots! Move on. I'm done. I'm finished with this campy comedy, bull funky, gobbledygook nonsense. I'm done. I'm finished. Fletcher, go before I really explode with this crap.
Before we move on to Fletcher, slight interruption. I made a mistake. Fletcher was actually supposed to lead off on this. I made a mistake, so I do apologize for that. So I read it wrong. So it should have been Fletcher leading off. Bullock should have gone last on that one. But Bullock already had his piece, so that's it. Fletcher, let's go to you anyway.
Hey, you just threw me a bone, Anthony Florio. I don't mind that. I'll take that any day of the week. Shoot, man, you just made my night. You just made me a very happy camper, and I just found out Braves will winner too. So you know my night's gotten a little better, not much, but still good enough. Hey, accident, schmadcident. I don't give a damn. You think I care? No. Uh, but at the end of the day, yes, this was a dud. This was horrible. This was nothing else to really define. I mean, Damien Sandow, okay, he went from being, like you said, 1 year ago, he was basically fighting, teaming up with Cody Rhodes, and basically they were on their little outs on the outside looking in, and this was right around the time he was about to become Money in the Bank winner. I mean, think about that, guys. From where he was last night, where he was 1 year ago now, he was wearing a leotard and dancing like a fairy in the middle of the ring tonight to try to say that he was like Fandango 2.0. Boy, okay, I've seen some things in my day, and I've kind of cringed. This almost made me shut my TV off. And don't get me wrong, this was right around the same time where the Rangers were falling apart, and I get it. But then I saw this monstrosity on my TV. I'm sorry, this would have ended my night. I don't know what else there is to say. I was enjoying my dinner. I was having a good time. You know, chatting with the great fans out there, with my good friends. And then this. Come on, guys. Come on, WWE. I mean, you had no competition tonight on ratings. The only thing you had was the Stanley Cup Finals, and you guys probably could have dominated that after the bloodbath that happened in the Garden tonight. And you had to do this? Really? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, WWE. Sometimes you make me want to choke you out like Samoa Joe, man. I want to Kakita clutch you guys half the times. But whatever the case may be, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, absolute dud. I mean, another one of the worst fights of the night, and I do apologize for the mix-up there. It was actually Fletcher who was supposed to lead off that segment, not Michael Bullock, but we're gonna get the rotation back as I'll take the next segment. But anyways, yeah, this was an absolute dud. I mean, Damian Sandow. I mean, like I always say, I mean, once upon a time, here he was, within an eyelash of beating John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship last October, the night after Hell in a Cell, and now, oh, yeah, nothing left to say. I mean, Michael Bullock is absolutely spot on, biggest stud enhancement talent. he's not just the biggest stud enhancement talent, Bullock. He is the biggest joke right now in the WWE. He's an absolute joke. And I know Matt Ward, got on me on the Facebook saying, give it a chance. Well, no. I don't give Campy Comedy Bull Funky a chance. I mean, I know he's saying this is almost like what the Big Show was doing, but here's the thing. When the Big Show did it, it was funny. Back then, back in the Attitude Era, when the Big Show was doing this, it was actually funny. I'll admit it. But nowadays, you think I'm laughing about this? Hell no. I'm not laughing about this. This is nonsense. This is typical PG WWE. What else is there to say? So, absolute dud. And the point of this was what exactly? So we can make an ass out of Damien Sandow again? Well, congratulations, you've done that. So Damien Sandow now, what an ass. So there's just nothing left to say here. Let's just move on to the next segment, and oh goody gumdrops, I get to lead off on another dud enhancement fight. It's time to Bo leave, fellas. It's Bo leave time. It is Bo Dallas as he goes one-on-one with another dud enhancement talent, Mr. Xavier Woods, winner of the fall in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Bo Dallas. Yeah. Another absolute dud. Another one of the worst fights of the night. Xavier Woods can't get over. I mean, I'll tell you what. Even if they dressed Xavier Woods in the Daniel Bryan outfit, you really think he's going to get over? Nope. He was over in TNA, I'll admit it. He was a little bit over in TNA when he was Consequences Creed. Formerly one half of the Lethal Consequences team with him and Jay Lethal, which I thought was pretty cool. Nope. Absolute dud. The Bo Dallas character gets more and more annoying each week. And that gives me ammo for another meme here in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But all I can say is this. I mean, nobody in their right minds is getting behind the Bo Dallas gimmick. I mean, I'm sure as hell not getting behind it. I mean, I know this is one of those things we should give a chance, but nah. I mean, it's going to take a while for me to give this a chance because, I mean, nobody likes it. I mean, if you heard that crowd, I mean, that crowd was so quiet. I mean, I don't know which crowd was more quieter, that Target Center crowd in Minneapolis tonight or Madison Square Garden after that putrid performance by the Rangers tonight. I mean, I don't know, man. Between those two, I got nothing. But I do have a funny meme. Just give me 1 second here. And, yeah, I mean, this was just absolutely horrific. I mean, the dud enhancement fights ruled the roost tonight. I mean, it's one thing when Campy Comedy rules it, but when dud enhancements rule the roost, the overall rating of the show is going to take a big, big hit. So, yeah, so just give me 1 second. I'm going to have this meme for you in just a moment before I toss it up to Michael Bullock. So, just give me 1 sec. All right. Oh man, I mean, just the gimmick is just so stale right now. It's not even funny, and nobody likes it. I certainly don't like it. So let me do this. Oh look, another dud enhancement fight here on Monday Night Raw. Yay! That's all I can say about it. So with that said, absolute dud. Another one of the worst fights of the night. Michael Bullock, sorry man, you gotta go.
Done. I got nothing more to say. Move on, Fletch.
Yeah, I gotta give it a dud. If I want to be generous, I'll give it maybe a quarter star, but there was really nothing there. I mean, Bo Dallas's character was really good on NXT. He just doesn't get the traction in WWE, and some of the fans just don't, they just don't believe in the gimmick. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So there's nothing else to say. Anthony, let's move on.
All right, and move on where we will. Well, at least, all right. It's gonna get better here a little bit here, as this coming up now is our second Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was the King of Swing, Cesaro, accompanied by Mr. Bullock's favorite manager, Paul Heyman, as he goes up against Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night. Winner of the fall in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. It is Cesaro. So Cesaro has found his way into the Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, joining Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, and Sheamus. So with that said, Mr. Bullock, your thoughts on the match?
All right. I thought this was a good match. I mean, I'll say probably somewhere between maybe 2.5 to maybe 3 stars at best. I thought this was a solid match between these two. But yeah, once again, Paul Heyman, or Mr. Paul Baldspot Heyman, has to once again remind everyone that his client Brock Lesnar has conquered the Undertaker's undefeated streak. I mean, I understand it's part of it, a way to get him some heat, but come on, it's basically at the point of go away. I hate to be honest. I hate to be honest here. I mean, I know some people saying, "Oh, come on." I mean, it's just part of his way to build some heat on the guy. But I mean, there's other things he could say to build heat on him, but to keep using that line week after week, come on, man. It's I mean, enough said on that. But I mean, excuse me. I mean, we saw some good high-flying action from Mr. Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night. But once again, Cesaro, of course, hits his famous neutralizer, 1, 2, 3, and he is now into the Money in the Bank ladder match, of course, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, and I mean, is this his ticket? Could this be the time that Cesaro basically cashes in and becomes WWE World Heavyweight Champion at Money in the Bank? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, because remember, we're all saying we want Cesaro to get a big-time push, especially after winning that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. This could be it right here. But all in all, 2.5 to 3 stars for me is my rating on the match. So with that being said, Mike Fletcher, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it a solid 2.5 stars, and for once we actually got a pretty decent fight here. Something that was pretty solid for the most part. And yes, Cesaro does win it. He gets the ticket into the Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which is, I think, one of the right decisions. And right now, I can go as far to say he's the odds-on favorite to win the fight. I think he is the odds-on favorite to win it, just based off who we got as of right now. Now that can always change, with more people being added. I know Anthony, you made a reference that you think it could be at least 7 men in the Money in the Bank ladder match. To say the very least, we'll wait and see what happens there. But when you have Sheamus, when you have Randy Orton, and Cesaro now in this fight, I I have to say that my pick is Antonio Cesaro to win the Money in the Bank fight and become the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion. 2.5 stars, definitely, I would say the third best fight of the night, to say the very least. So let's move on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Mikey. Third best fight of the night, indeed. 2.5 stars, solid 2.5 is my rating for the match. Um, Now, earlier when we talked about Sheamus and Barrett, we said the wrong guy won, and we were correct on that. But this time around, you gotta admit the right guy won. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, nothing against RVD. I mean, they could have used it for some high spots in that one, but he's already had Money to Make experience. I mean, he is a former Money to Make ladder match winner himself, winning at WrestleMania 22, and then of course going on to successfully cash in on John Cena at the ECW One Night Stand 2006 pay-per-view to become the WWE champion. Unfortunately, his reign only lasted about a month or so because of what, something I prefer not to talk about. But it is what it is. But they got the right guy here. Cesaro, you knew he was going to be in this fight, and imagine this. Imagine if Cesaro does go on to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, what a story that would be. I mean, here's a guy who's a former United States Heavyweight Champion, and he held that title for a very long time. He held it for over 8 months. I mean, he won it at SummerSlam 2012 pre-show against Santino Marella with a little help from Oksana, and we'll have more on Oksana in just a little bit. And then, I mean, wow. He's now with Paul Heyman. He wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania. We kept saying, when's he going to get that big push? When's he going to get that big push? Well, guess what, boys? He's got it right here and now. And Money in the Bank, June 29th, Boston, Massachusetts, TD Garden. We could be seeing the legend of Cesaro. The legend of Cesaro could be born on June 29th if he does indeed win the Money in the Bank ladder match. It becomes the third WWE World Heavyweight Champion, joining Randy Orton and, of course, Daniel Bryan. So, boy, howdy. How awesome do you think that crowd in Boston is going to be if Cesaro? Do you think he's going to get that big pop if he wins it? I think there's a great chance he could, because they love his body of work. We love his body of work. But as the old saying goes, it remains to be seen. But as of right now, Cesaro is indeed the odds-on favorite. But watch out for Randy Orton, boys. He's the former champ himself. There's a great chance we could see another run for the Viper. I know Fletch would love that, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So, really nothing left to say here. Let's just move on to our next segment here. And, well, from good to better, we get ourselves the in-ring segment. It was an exclusive interview with Michael Cole. Michael Cole sitting down with now former Shield member Seth Rollins. And then chaos ensues as Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns show up, and then we get the Wyatt family, and then, lo and behold, the Golden Boy, the Superman, John Cena, Super Cena in the house. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, you lead off on this segment. Your thoughts on this segment altogether?
I thought this was pretty solid. Seth Rollins comes out with new theme music, which was alright, not bad. Sounds pretty generic, but pretty cool. I liked it. One of my friends actually said she really likes Seth Rollins in the suit, and he was definitely all dressed up. Definitely looks like a member of Evolution in an all-black guard. And I'll tell you one thing. I know for a fact, I would be rocking that suit. That would be a suit that I would be rocking. The all-black attire with the black tie and the whole 9 yards. That's definitely something I would do if I was a member of Evolution. That would be a suit that I would wear. I actually do have something similar to that somewhere lying around in my closet here in my house, in my home. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. I thought the interview was kind of expected, and it was pretty much the same thing that we kind of really expected, a cookie cutter promo by Rollins. But then the Shield tried to come out, try to get their hands on. Next thing you know, the Wyatt show up, and boy, do we get a little bit of a Donnybrook. And then, yeah, like you said, Super Cena comes out. Dee Woodson and Megan Silver both start going crazy. They both start celebrating because, once again, the Golden Boy of the WWE. And actually, I need to hit you fellas up with a meme myself, but this was not for me. This was something that I grabbed. Let me see if I can get it in a second. Let's see, I can find it. Alright, just give me 1 second, guys. There it is. I'm going to try to get it here. And then, yeah, here it comes for you great fans on the forum. Anthony's been going Mimi crazy tonight. Here's something for you guys. Look at this. Darn it, Bray Wyatt. Didn't Roman Reigns say you don't tug on Superman's cape? Yeah, you're damn right. Look who just showed up. John Cena. John Cena with his Super Cena bit. He shows up and basically causes a whole bunch of havoc and chaos in the house. And, I think one of my friends said it best. Minnesota doesn't like Cena. Well, just the men of Minnesota does not like John Cena because the women and the children thinks he's A-okay. He's 2 thumbs up. Whatever the case may be, it was a solid segment. I enjoyed it. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, for me, this was the segment of the night. I mean, I thought Seth Rollins did a great job in his first heel promo since turning on the Shield last week. I mean, coming out with the suit, the Evolution type suit, a la Michael Fletcher, because I've seen him in his evolution best. Trust me, I have. And the theme music, yeah, I mean, it leaves a little bit to be desired, but we're talking about his body of work as a whole, and I thought his promo tonight was very well done. It was a great interview with Michael Cole, and then another reason why this was the segment of the night, the chaos ensuing with the Wyatt family showing up and Ambrose and Rollins, Ambrose and Reigns, I should say, and then you throw in the Golden Boy, John Cena, showing up for a chaotic scene that the live crowd absolutely ate up. They loved that segment, no doubt about that, as did I. So yeah, and it led into the main event of the evening, which will then become Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and John Cena teaming up in a six-man tag team match against the Wyatt family. We'll dissect that in just a little bit. So really nothing left to say here except segment of the night for me. Great job by Rollins on the heel promo, and then the chaos that ensued. Well done. Very good segment. So with that said, Bullock, it's yours.
Yes, this was the segment of the night for me. I mean, Seth Rollins, I thought, did a really good job in his heel promo, basically saying saying that he was the one that he takes credit for the creation of the Shield, and basically said that he said he believes that to be a success in business you have to evolve and adapt, and he says he bought into the evolution, and basically it took guts for him to do what he did, and betraying his brothers. It says that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they were brothers, but to him, Seth Rollins himself, they were just business partners. And he says for 2 years every night he would come out and say believe in the Shield, but what he meant was that everyone else better start believing in Seth Rollins. So basically saying that it's all about Seth Rollins, and then basically saying that later on tonight that the Shield will have their last hurrah against the Wyatt family, and then all of a sudden, of course, Reigns and Ambrose come out, and then all of a sudden the lights go out, and then when they come back on, Harper and Rowan come out, and we had ourselves a good old-fashioned Donnybrook, and Rollins makes his way back into the ring, and once they eliminate the two members of the Wyatt family, it looked like they had their hands on Seth Rollins, but Bray Wyatt comes out, and the Wyatts basically take over and beat the crap out of Ambrose and Reigns. Then John Cena comes out and basically helps in with the to be the hero over here. So yes, he would be the third man and set up for a great main event later on in the night, and we'll definitely talk about it. So definitely my segment of the night. So with that being said, let's move on for you.
Yes, just had to unmute the mic there. So let's move on to our next moment here. It was, well, I only have one question here, fellas. Are you ready for some Hot Divas action? And that's exactly what we have here and now. It was the WWE Divas Champion Paige going one-on-one with Alicia Fox, winner of the fall in 4 minutes and 55 seconds, basically almost 5 minutes. It was the anti-diva, the Divas Champion out of Norwich, England, the now 22-year-old beauty out of Norwich, England, Paige, winning the match via the PTO. I got to start off on this one. I'm not going to call this a dud because I thought this was an okay fight for the most part. I mean, there was some good action here, and it's because of that. I'm going to be generous here, and I'm going to give this 1 star for the effort, maybe even 1.25, but it's definitely a 1 to 1.25 star fight. No surprise Paige got the win here, but you knew, I mean, once we saw Paige win the fight, you knew Alicia Fox was going to go on another one of her tantrums, and oh boy, did she do it, did she do it more than ever here tonight. I mean, takes out her frustrations on her, I guess we could say, quote-unquote, BFF, Oksana. I mean, Oksana, if you didn't see it, Oksana accompanied Alicia to ringside for this match, and what did Alicia do after the match? Took out her frustrations on Oksana, and then she she steals a couple of water bottles and a tub of popcorn, and she dumps both the water and the popcorn all over Oksana, and and then she apologizes, and then she goes on another spree, and I mean, I tell you, Alicia Fox, man, I mean, what she's been doing over the last few weeks, I mean, in the minds of many, red-blooded American males, has been very entertaining, to say the very least. I mean, that's just what the red-blooded American males think. But I don't know how the rest of the universe feels about it, but to me, I mean, I'm getting a kick out of it. I mean, here's a gal who was somewhat, I would have to say, a dud enhancement diva for a long while. I mean, she hasn't really been the same since she lost the Divas title 4 years ago at SummerSlam to another one of Michael Fletcher's all-time favorites, Melina. But yeah, what has she done for us lately? Yeah, she's getting better in the ring, and she's having better matches, and she got a shot at Paige at the Divas title at Payback, came up short, but her temper tantrum gimmick, I mean, this is almost very similar, if I'm being honest, and I just thought about this. Is it just me, or is this very similar to, what happened with Christian, back 12 years ago? Remember when he was leading into that feud with DDP for the European title at WrestleMania and all those temper tantrums he would go on? This is exactly what Alicia Fox is doing right now. I mean, we've seen this before. We saw this with Christian 12 years ago, going on as we were on the road to WrestleMania 18. So a little bit of a impromptu WrestleMania rewind, no pun intended. Mr. Bullock's favorite show on the WWE Network. But anyways, this wasn't. I'm not going to call this a dud. I mean, I know the purists will probably call it a dud, but for me, I didn't think this was. I thought this was a solid match. I thought it was an okay fight, but it could have been a little better. But for the effort, I'm going to give it 1 to 1.25 stars. So I don't know. And the big question, the $1 million question is, who's next? Who's next for Paige? Who's going to be Paige's next challenger? I don't know. I really don't know. But you have heard it. You will hear it here first. I do believe there will be a Divas title fight at Payback. I mean, at Money in the Bank. Who against? I don't know. Good question. So with that said, 1 to 1.25 stars. Well, look, it's yours.
Yes, I do agree. I mean, I'm gonna be a little generous, and I'm gonna say 1 star as well. I mean, 'cause I thought there was some all right action, but once again, it was nothing amazing, nothing overly special. Another win for Paige, and yeah, another one of those Alicia Fox temper tantrums, basically taking it out on, well, we thought was their BFF Oksana, but yep, I don't think Oksana's going to be being friends with Alicia Fox anymore after her latest tantrum, basically taking a water bottle and popcorn, basically pouring the water on her and basically stuffing the popcorn right down her mouth. Damn. I've seen some crazy divas before. I mean, the last one we saw was, of course, when Mickie James first came to the WWE, when we all knew how crazy she was. So, yeah, I mean, Anthony pretty much touched on everything on it. So, with that being said, 1 star for me. So with that being said, Fletcher, it's yours.
Yes, this was definitely a 1-star fight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this was just one of those. I don't know what to even make or what to even believe. I mean, this was just one of those weird situations that you're just like, really? I mean, it was definitely something. I don't want to say left to be desired, but it was definitely something out of right field, something you don't see every day. And, well, you know, well, there's really nothing else for me to say about it. This was just one of those head scratching type moments that we saw here tonight, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So, with that said, let's just move on, guys.
Yeah, move on we will to our next match, and surprise, surprise, it's another Dud enhancement fight. Here we go. And Mr. Bullock, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to lead up on this one. Now I know it's your turn now. No accident here. It was the Real American Jack Swagger one-on-one with Santino Marella minus Emma. Keep that in mind. Emma was not out there. So read into that what you will. Swagger and Marella, winner of the match, Jack Swagger in 1 minute and in a whopping 1 minute and 55 seconds. Oh, Mr. Bullock, I'm sorry to have to do this to you again, but this time it is you now. There is no mistake about this, so you got to go on this one, I'm afraid, my man. So, your thoughts?
Oh, really? I gotta lead off on another dud fight? Oh my gosh. What did I do to deserve this? Alright. I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. Absolute dud. Another pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible match. Oh my gosh. I don't know what else there is to say except I'm going to say it again in the immoral words of Ren and Stimpy, you idiots! And as Daniel Bryan would say, no, 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 no. Done. Fletcher, go.
Yes, yes, yes. No, 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 indeed. This was a bad match. No doubt about it. I can't even save this. I don't even think it's even worth being saved. Bad match all the way around. Another dud fight. No doubt about it. I can't argue with it. Anthony, I'm just going to give it straight to you.
Yeah, another dud enhancement fight, another one of the worst fights of the night, but the only thing I want to take away from this is that there was no Emma with Santina Morella. So I don't know if that means they're ready to move Emma on and they're going to have Emma go on her own now, which honestly I hope they do because she's better than that, to be honest with you. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. So it was another dud enhancement fight, another one of the worst fights of the night. So absolute dud, really nothing left to say here. So with that said, let's just move on to our main event of the evening. It was John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose going up against the Wyatt family. The winners of the match, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose in 20 minutes and 20 seconds. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, lucky you. You get to lead off on the fight of the night, so go for it. A la Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman, I hear what they say. You seen John Cena being in, despite him having his eye completely shut, he probably had to get a T-bone steak over a house show over the weekend, actually yesterday, because he got himself jacked up pretty badly that we might not see him. How's the Shield? Yeah, I don't think the Shield's gonna react to this, and the Wyatts stronger than everything else. I say wrong, wrong, wrong. How on earth can you how can you not underestimate Super Cena when it's in full power? Nah, this was actually good. I'm sorry, Anthony. I kind of have to disagree with you. This was my second best fight of the night. Not a fight of the night, even though I do give it 3 stars. This was a great match, no doubt about it. And this is one of the few bright spots of tonight's Monday Night Raw show. But I kind of believe that this was. I thought, like I said, I thought the Bad News Barrett versus Sheamus was actually better than this one. But it was a very good way to end the Monday Night Raw. A very solid show. Well, solid to end it. What was a very lackluster show. With that said, so I give it to you, Anthony. You're up.
Yeah, we do disagree indeed, Michael Fletcher, because this for me was my fight of the night. I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars because this is a very good match. I mean, great action down the stretch. I mean, a lot of great near falls, and Roman Reigns gets the win with the spear. And big question is, what's next? What is next when it comes to uh, the the split of the Shield? I don't know what's next, but you heard this here first. I think John Cena's going to get added to that Money in the Bank match. You heard that here first, and maybe Bray Wyatt. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how they decide to work that out. But all I know is this: this was a fantastic main event and a long main event too. I mean, we haven't seen a main event get 20 minutes in a while, but this one got over 20 minutes, and it was a very good match from what I saw. And yes, I mean, definitely the fight of the night for me, a 4-star match, and you know, even though it was John Cena and not Seth Rollins with the Shield. I mean, Shield and Wyatt. I mean, what else is there to say? So they've had some awesome matches, including in that very arena back in February at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and we all know how that turned out. So great way to close what was a rather average and mediocre edition of Monday Night Raw. And we'll get into our overall reviews in just a moment. So there's really nothing left for me to say here except Michael Bullock. Who do you agree with? Do you agree with Fletcher or do you agree with me as far as your thoughts on this fight?
All right, who do I agree with? I'm going to agree with Anthony Florio on this one. I'm going to say this was a solid 4-star fight. I mean, I thought this was a very good match. I mean, some great action, some great near falls here, and yep, lo and behold, of course, Cena and of course Ambrose and Reigns get the win here, and yeah, like you said, what's going to happen now? Now that I mean, we all think John Cena is going to get added into the Money in the Bank ladder match, and of course maybe Bray Wyatt. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see as we progress through, as we get closer and closer to Money in the Bank, and you guys basically touched on everything. So 4 stars for me. A good match here and a good way to close out what I do agree was an average, mediocre, and lackluster edition of Monday Night Raw. So with that being said, Florio, let's get to our overall thoughts.
Overall review of the show, indeed, coming up next here. So let's see. Fletcher, I believe, led off on the last one. So it's gonna, I believe it goes to me now as far as, our overall review goes. And yeah, honestly, I don't know how to rank this show tonight. I mean, this was an all-around horrific night. I mean, not just for me, but for Michael Fletcher as well. I mean, Bullock had I know Bullock didn't like the Raw show, but for Michael Fletcher and myself, I mean, this was basically a night from hell, to be quite honest. I mean, we were in hell tonight, and yeah, this was not a good night to say the very least. And a night that I thought was going to be a great night for us. I thought our Rangers were going to get back in the Stanley Cup Finals. I thought the Raw was going to be a solid show at best, but no. I mean, as if the Rangers getting Holiday Ham tonight was bad enough. And and now basically handing the Los Angeles Kings the Stanley Cup now. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, this was a horrific show. I mean, I'm not going to give it a 0 out of 10 because there was some good moments here. I mean, you had that 6-man main event as the fight of the night. Those 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers, those were good as well. You also had those segments with Seth Rollins with Michael Cole, the opening segment with Triple H and Stephanie, and yeah, but dud enhancement fights ruled the roost on this night. We had a good 5 or 6 of them on this show, which is 5 or 6 too many. I mean, I can live with maybe 1, maybe 2, but 5 or 6 on the same show, no. So with that said, I'm going to give this between 4 to 5 out of 10. This was not a good show at all. 4 at the absolute worst, 5 at the absolute best out of 10. Average and mediocre show from start to finish, and boy howdy, I mean, between this and what happened to the Rangers tonight, I got nothing. So that's all I can say, and to close it all out, there's really nothing left for me to say except on behalf of Michael Fletcher, and I know he's going to agree with me when I say this. This was for us a night to forget. Worst night ever. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this was just not a good show. I mean, this was an average, mediocre, lackluster edition of Monday Night Raw. And you know what? I'm actually going to go lower. I'm going to say 3.5 out of 10. I mean, this was just horrible. I mean, 5 to 6 stud enhancement matches. Ugh, that was just the one that really, really killed it. I mean, you basically touched it on everything for it. I mean, this was just not a good show, to say the very least. So I'm not going to waste any more time on this. 3.5 out of 10 for me. Very disappointing. So with that being said, Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I gotta go with Michael Bullock, but I can actually go even lower. I'm gonna give this 2.5. I mean, this is my lowest rating I've given in a long time, guys. There was so many dud enhancement fights than anything else, and the only reason why it wasn't lower was because you had a great fight between Sheamus and Bad News Barrett. The six-man tag main event between the Wyatts, the Shield, and John Cena really helped. Yeah, you had the Seth Rollins thing. You had a lot of the things that really kind of gave it a decent look. But at the end of the day, WWE really hurt themselves because a lot of their guys were either hurt or the whole 9 yards. And the way that they did the show tonight, I'm sorry to say, but I really think they threw the show away because I honestly believe that I think the WWE thought that maybe it's the Stanley Cup Finals, with a lot of things going on, that let's just throw the show away and the whole 9 yards. But then when the Cup Final didn't go the way that I know Anthony and myself and a lot of the fans were thinking, that it was going to be a complete and utter domination type of a situation, that's when it revolved around, and WWE kind of screwed themselves here tonight in a disgusting display. I would this is a throwaway. This whole night's been a stinking throwaway, to say the very least, and there's really nothing else to say. So with that said, Anthony, let's just wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up indeed on this night to forget, this night of shame, as I call it. So, with that said, Michael Bullock, you lead off on the shout-outs, then Fletcher, and then I'll wrap it up, and I'll promote the future content and go from there. So, Bullock, you're up first on the shout-outs.
All right. Special shout out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who can continue to support our shows, whether it is the Wrestling Forum or Strictly Sports. It doesn't matter. We really appreciate it. We thank you for listening to us on what we all thought was a dreadful night to forget here. Of course, not only with the Rangers losing, but of course a bad Monday Night Raw. But we thank you for hanging around and listening to us, giving our thoughts on tonight's show. So shout outs to our super fans, Dee Dee Woodson, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonball. And of course, shout outs to our friends from our high school days. First off, to Derek Ferreira. Of course, we know that he's going to be going to MetLife Stadium for the Portugal versus Ireland soccer game. Hopefully, you have a great time, Ferreira, and hopefully you enjoy MetLife Stadium and that soccer game. So, yeah, and of course, I also want to send a shout out to Tom Souza, Al Brederson, Robbie Parsons, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, and of course, since obviously we're not going to be since I won't be here in the next few days, I got to get on my other shout outs to our news personalities, Ken Bell from ABC6, Frank Arpano and Joe Chiara from Channel 10, Yanni Caracas and Mark Gondaro and Patrick Little from Channel 12, and of course Jenny Dell, of course now formerly of Nesson, since she's now leaving Nesson, and of course shout out to of course our friends, our friends from the Roadshow, of course the former co-host Mary Larson and Megan Mooney, and of course Megan Mooney, of course, celebrating her 30th birthday on Sunday. Hopefully you had a great birthday on Sunday. So yeah. So, and of course the three current people on the Roadshow: Will Gilbert, Brendan Kirby, and of course Michaela Johnson, who is of course back from her vacation. So, and of course also shout out to of course Daniel Luttrell, and of course Sada Sorrell and Lindsay McCormick, and of course, one final shout out I want to give a shout out to, and that is shout out to all the participants who are going to be, shout out to the Team Rhode Island. Of course, they will be going to New Jersey to compete in the Special Olympics USA Games in New Jersey, which starts, of course, on June 14th and goes through the 21st. So good luck to Team Rhode Island. Hopefully you come back and bring home some gold. And yes, I already said this on Strictly Sports. I will not be here because I will be going to New Jersey to help cover the USA Games with our TV show Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. So I will be in New Jersey for a week. So yeah. So that's pretty much gonna do it for me and my shout out. So until then, So until next time, this is the Phenom and the Vice President of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, Mike Bullock, basically saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up, 4 style. Have a great night and a great rest of the week, everybody. So with that being said, Fletcher, your shout out.
Yes, as always, I want to thank all the great fans out there, who follows the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports. You guys are the best in the world. You guys already know that. To my super fans, to Dee Woodson, to Matt Ward, actually, I gotta give a major shout out to Tanya Nollings. She was actually somebody who I got to chat with earlier today. She and I got into a very good chat, especially about the WWE. So I want to give a special shout out to her. Of course, Megan Silva, another super fan of our own. Kaiser Butler, of course, our homeboy from the UK, Mr. Daniel Luttrell. Mad props to him as well. And then, of course, our guys from the junior high and high school days. You guys already know who you are. To the 2184 crew, you guys already know who you guys are. Much love to you guys. And that's it for tonight. So, I do want to say Wednesday night, we do have another edition of the Ranger Roundup. Could it be the last time we do it? We'll wait and see. If it's not, if the Rangers should continue on, then we got a game 5, and that'll be on Friday. So until then, I'm Mike Fletcher. You know the routines, everybody. Has the hand pounds. We out. Good night. Anthony, take it home.
Yeah, we'll do, Fletch. Special shout out to all of our tremendous viewers out there who continue to watch, the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports when we're on. We appreciate it as always. You are the best fans in the world. Nothing left to say about that. Our super fans, Dee Dee Woodson and Kevin Woodson and the rest of their family, Jason Hicksonball, Matt Ward, and of course the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Megan Silva, the First Lady of the rest of Strictly Sports, Kaiser Butler, of course our Grand Poobah, Derek Pereira, who once again gave me the keys to the car tonight. I appreciate that as always. You know how much I enjoy that. And then of course, Derek's got a lot of content, and I'm going to go over that with you in just a moment. Of course, the rest of our crew from our high school days, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Al Braderson, Rob Parsons, they know who they are. And of course, since there's not going to be any Strictly Sports shows for the next couple of weeks, anyways, I may as well get those shout outs out of the way. Of course, all of our local television personalities, you know who you are: Ken Bell from Channel 6, Frank Carpano, Joe Chiato, Channel 10, Mark Dondero, Yanni Caracas, Patrick Little, Channel 12, formerly of Ness and Jenny Dell. We're going to miss you around here. But you already heard her. She'll be on TV again. There's no doubt about it. She's too good at what she does. Cassidy Hubbard from ESPN, our friends from Crowd Goes Wild, Regis Philbin, Dorothy Thompson, Jason Gay, Mike Costa, Trevor Price, Katie Nolan, and of course, Status Terrell. We can't forget about her. Her weekend mashups. She hasn't been doing those for a while, but hopefully she'll have one going very soon. Of course, let's see, Crystal Tooney. We can't forget about her. And of course, our friends from the Road Show, Mega Mooney, who's now, I don't know if Fletcher knows about this, but Mega Mooney now residing in Denver, Colorado. She got a new job up there. So we wish her the very best in her new endeavor as well. Not the same without her here in Rhode Island, but, that's what the Road Show does. That's what Search for a Star is supposed to do. So Search for a Star did its job in its sense. So with that said, we congratulate Mega Mooney on her new endeavor, and we miss her very much, and we wish her all nothing but the absolute best. Of course, the other former co-host, Mary Larson, another fan favorite around here. And, of course, the three folks who host it nowadays, Brendan Kirby, and, of course, Will Gilbert and Michaela Johnson. And, of course, my number one girl on Twitter, who I've had a lot of interaction with over the last several weeks, of course, Lindsay McCormick. You know how I am about that. You already know that story by now, so I'm not even going to, go further into that. Of course, as Fletch alluded to, of course, Wednesday night, following Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, it will be the Rangers Roundup. Will it be our last one? Personally, I think it's going to be, but you never know. Stranger things have happened, so I'm hoping it's not the last one. I'm hoping we'll get to do a show again on Friday night, but Wednesday night, nonetheless, we will have a Rangers Roundup. Hopefully, it will not be the last one, but with our luck, it probably will be. So, but you never know. You never know. That's all I can say. You never know. So, and of course, no Strictly Sports on Friday night because Derek Ferreira will be doing this big World Cup special for our soccer website. So we wish him all the best on that. And then, of course, I know we're probably not going to be doing anything with the TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view because the TNA product lately has been so god-awful as of late. So I really doubt we're going to be doing anything with the Slammiversary stuff, but we'll see what happens come this weekend because it is their Slammiversary pay-per-view. No Wrestling Forum next Monday night either. We will not have that. And there will also be no Strictly Sports on June 20th. So we're probably looking at June 23rd. Will probably be our next edition of the Wrestling Forum. And I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm sure Derek Ferrero will, keep us posted on that. And then we'll see how. And then June 27th will probably be the return of Strictly Sports. So that's really all there is to it. Of course, keep an eye out on Derek Ferrero's Facebook page, and of course the Wrestling Forum Facebook page, Strictly Sports, and of course our Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports WordPress blogs, courtesy of Derek Ferrero as well. So that's going to do it for us. So since it's going to be the last time we're going to see Mr. Bullock for a while, Mr. Bullock, we wish you the very best of luck with your big endeavor coming up. I know it's a big moment for you, so we, on behalf of all of us here at the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports, congrats on your endeavor, and we wish you the best of luck with that. And eventually, when we return to Strictly Sports on June 27th, if that is indeed the case, hopefully we'll have you back on, and hopefully you'll share your experiences with that, because, I mean, that screams exclusive right there. And I know Derek Ferrero will deep down feel the same way. So we wish you all the best of luck with you on that, and have a good time, and keep us posted on that, if you will. So maybe give us some updates. So, all right. So that's going to do it for us. So until Wednesday night, when you'll see me and Fletcher on Fletcher's channel, BravesFan95, for what will hopefully not be our last edition of the Rangers Roundup. Until then, it is Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio, for the Cerebral Viper Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up 424 style. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And until Wednesday night for the Rangers Roundup on Fletcher's BravesFan95 channel, you've been watching the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends. God bless, and be good to each other.